Welcome back into the Starfield to all of our fellow sandwich bandits out there. A lot has happened since we last cruised into your airspace, and likewise, we have a lot to talk about, including a fresh new look at the Dev Q&A, Gamescom, and even some giveaways. So stay tuned and prepare to travel into the Starfield. Welcome back to another episode of Into the Starfield. As always, I, Joe, will be your captain, guide, and waiter on this journey. And joining me are the two people whose likeness NASA transmitted into the vastness of space so that aliens know what male and female humans look like. It's Chase and Zach.
Wait a minute.
They gotta figure out which one is which.
Maybe. Hopefully not.
They're gonna be confused.
Am I a pretty girl?
Paint me like one of your pretty girls.
Like Barbie and Ken. Like, we don't have genitalia. What's going on?
That's right. It's just perfect form. You guys are the epitome, and that's what they decided. Of the male and female forms.
Perfect specimen, Chase.
Yes.
You're the perfect specimen, Chase.
You guys excited? We're now less than a week away.
I don't know what to feel about it other than that something's happening, and it's a big thing.
Right?
Big thing happening.
Yeah.
I don't know
it's a lot of just like I don't know what train is about to hit me, you know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if the anxiety I feel is just excitement for the game, or if it's just anxiety around trying to prepare this podcast. But yeah, it's just like a lot of anxiety right now. So something that should relieve our anxiety a little bit. I wanted to look back and shout out some of our amazing fans who have left some amazing comments. Kind of just to prop us up a little bit. So I wanted to shout some of these guys out because they're so nice to us and they totally encouraged me to keep going on this. So I'm going to bring up some Hi-Ho Silver. He has two actually here. Hi-Ho Silver 1234. He says, "Hey, y'all are great. Thumbs up. It's hard to find anything that isn't super negative about Starfield and BGS. So thanks for the positivity."
I had no idea. How did you not be positive?
Yeah.
Somebody made big game.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. He said, I, for one, can't be more excited for a game I've waited 8 years for by my favorite dev of all time.
Yeah.
I was really confused because I'm like, I haven't read much negativity about this. But
I've seen a lot. It's like
said,
the game's not even out yet, and everyone's like, you're just like fussing over everything.
Oh, look at all this stuff you can't do. Yeah, I started seeing some of that, and it's just like, you don't know that yet. Yeah, but my
favorite is like they do the whole, there's 1,000 planets. Yeah. And then people respond with what's out there because it's like there's nothing to play. It's so funny.
500 channels, but nothing to watch.
Yep.
Yeah. Eyes of Timmy Turner.
He also then commented Andy Samberg, Mr. Llama, and Paul Scheer. Anywho, great video again. Subbed, and I'll tune in for more Starfield coverage. So,
you're Andy Samberg. I know that much.
I'm Andy Samberg. Yeah, he's commenting on our likeness. I'm Andy Samberg. I'm pretty sure he meant Chase is Mr. Llama.
Who's Mr. Llama?
Zach is Paul Scheer.
And I don't know who Paul Scheer is.
He hit it on the nose because we actually used to refer to you as this character. Do you remember when we used to watch The League?
Oh, I know Paul Scheer.
Yeah.
Wait. What's his name?
Sure.
Is it Andre? I don't remember what his character's name is in The League. It's been so long.
I wish I don't know who Mr. Llama is though. I'm looking.
It was such a blast.
It was.
It happened so fast. It's gone, here and gone. Like
that's
no
so
time.
Funny. Okay. Anyways.
Sidetracked
here.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Thanks, Hi-Ho Silver. You hit it spot on because I've gotten Andy Samberg a lot from.
Anytime I watch anything with Andy Samberg, it's like that's Joe.
That's
Joe, my friend Joe on screen.
Mm-hmm. You don't know this, but that's just my stage name.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know your real name.
I live two different lives. Yeah.
Some people, man.
All right. Next comment is from Round Earth Shill 248. He says, "My birthday is September 5th, and I took a week off of work that week to do
Nice.
nothing but immerse myself in a new universe. Also bought the $100 edition to get the 5 days early access and truly optimize my time off of work.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Round Earth Shill.
Epic.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's a good birthday present.
That's
Yeah,
going to
it's
be
great.
ritualistic.
A
You're
birthday
gonna have
present
to,
directly from BGS.
get some snacks, get like the whole setup going, dude.
Some candles. Don't burn down your Xbox.
Wait. Oh, God.
You putting the
but
candles
candle
on your
dinner with your
Xbox?
Xbox,
Yes.
dude. Hell yeah.
Ritualistic. Zach said it.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you gotta have the pentagon stuff.
Pentagon,
Whatever.
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that thing. Pentagram.
The Pentagon.
It's not a
pentagon.
It's not a ritual without a pentagon, Graham.
Yeah, exactly. There's got to be a shape involved. I don't know what kind of shape. But some people like squares. That's fine.
All right, the next one is from, okay, give me a second. Huode-san, I think is how it's supposed to be pronounced. Says, what the heck is Starfield anyway? Never heard of it. And then those eyes. Says, he says, love the give me all the info now attitude you have contrasted by your buddies. Don't tell me shit till it's in my hands POVs.
Yeah, it's good.
It's great.
Yeah. So
Get the information monger over here.
yeah. I like that it's that contrast, I think, that's
Yeah.
enticing. You know, you got the good cop, bad cop.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It is. It's like very content safe in a lot of ways because of that.
Wait till they see how we argue.
Yeah. It's all bad cop.
It's all bad cop. There's no good cop.
No one's having a good time
Zach's
there.
in the corner crying. And
And the two of us are reprimanding you.
Yeah, right.
All right. Jake1272 said, quickly becoming one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. Looking forward to more future content and those most valuable first impressions.
Wow.
Wow,
that's
these
so
are really
sweet.
positive.
I
quotes.
told
I
you.
didn't expect it.
People
at
are
all.
loving it.
Nice.
Cool. Well, you've organized it so akin
Yeah,
to
I mean, we just show up pretty much.
like traditional experience that I've heard on a podcast. So I feel like just Joe Blow fly on the wall. Like, okay, he's gonna talk to me, I guess. Wow, Joe's talking to me. Oh, it's also nice because we don't get to talk all that often.
No, we don't.
So it does bring us together for.
It's a nice time.
Chit-chats.
Yeah.
Granted, it's Starfield chit chats right now, which
is
yeah.
amazing.
That's fine. That's fine. We can chit chat about Starfield all day.
And the last one has nothing to do with our podcast. I just really liked it. It said, it's by Mark Watts 7977. It says, can modders please make a PlayStation gun in Starfield that shoots fanboy tears?
Oh
Yes.
Oh yes.
Ouch.
Spicy.
But yeah,
Do it.
like this is kind of what I want this to be, right? Right now, the podcast has been a lot about news around Starfield because that's all we can kind of try to find. But what I really want it to be is like a community sort of thing where we go and look at what the community is doing or get input from the community that maybe we do something based off of that. And so I want to be more focused on that. It's just the game's not out, so there's been nothing the community can do or give us, or very little. Like we try it with the
except
community
for
showcase.
except for the fact that, like, you know, I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, you know, I've been in anticipation for this for a while, and I'm like, so have like millions of other people.
Right.
We're like all in the same boat on that front, and it's like easy to forget that, I guess, or it was easy for me to forget that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
and so I wanted to like, so these intro first few episodes are really like news and speculation, right? Just kind of dreaming about what this might be, hopefully with the community. And then once it's out, so our next episode is going to be after it's been out for 5 days officially, and then that'll be more community based because we're going to be looking up what people have been doing, what people have found. We're going to talk about what we've done in our playthroughs, our characters maybe a bit. So that's something that I'm really excited about. I'm also excited about what kind of character backstories people might have. So I want to pose that as a question at the beginning of this, and we'll bring it back at the end. But if you want, please comment with if you've come up with like a character backstory. Name of that character would be fun too. If
Give
you
us
want
some inspiration.
Yeah, if
Wanna
you want,
hear it.
we have a Discord channel you can go into and post once you're playing the game. If you want to post your character, like an image of your character, that'd be fun too. with their backstory and name, I'd love it. I love to see all of that. So
Yeah.
do that. Link for our Discord will be in the chat, or in the in the description. And another point to make before we hop on into things is this is recorded as a video podcast on Twitch and YouTube. And as such, there are video elements to it, but I do also put in an audio version. If you're listening to this on the audio version and you want to see some of those more visual aspects, I do post links in the description as well as on our Facebook and other social media. But you can also go to our Happy Pants YouTube channel and subscribe there for the live recordings if you want to see us record this live, and you can see the edited versions after the fact. So
All the crap Joe trimmed out because we don't know what we're talking about.
exactly.
It takes like the boogies out of our eyes and stuff and makes us look better.
Exactly. all the sniffles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God.
All right.
Thanks, Joe.
That being said, let's move on. You guys ready for some news?
Hell yeah, man.
Oh, hit me.
All right. Starting off, it wouldn't be news without some more Starfield merch.
Wait, what?
What is
Nurch?
that?
This
Nurch?
is a
That's an envelope.
nerd merch. This is a
It's-
wrap for the Xbox Series X, an official
Oh.
wrap, and it usually wraps are like stuck on. This
This is-
kind of wraps around and velcros. It's got a thickness to it. It's really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Oh.
dude, what the hell?
Yep. It officially
Yo.
It
comes
is
out.
Velcro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yo, wait, what the heck? This is like straight from the Microsoft Surface team where they had like
It
all
is.
the flip cases and everything that were so well done.
hmm
And then they were like, okay, we need something to work on.
It
Let's
looks like the
just,
same material because it's got that same kind of like bumped design where it like
For-
lifts.
a skin. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's $50 on the Xbox store, and it releases. I think you can pre-order it. It comes out October 18th.
I would buy that if I had one of those, dude.
Yeah.
That would be something I would totally buy.
It's
The
it's beautiful.
refrigerator.
However, I
Yeah.
will say the one disappointing thing about this, I think, is that it probably means they're not going to make a special edition Series X.
That's fine. We don't need it. We have this. You
True.
can take it off and put on a new one later. with
Yeah.
that new,
That's
like,
true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
like,
better than having to
uh,
buy a whole new Series X if you already have one.
Yeah.
All right.
Or
Mhm.
if you get tired of it, or maybe something stupid happens and you're like, I just never want to see Starfield ever again because I spent my entire life playing it and now no one wants to talk to me anymore because I abandoned all of my relationships.
Right.
Or maybe if another game comes out with a
Yeah,
nice
another
wrap
game.
and you want to
Yeah.
swap it out.
Heck yeah, man.
I like that better.
Mix and match.
The next bit of news we're getting into, make sure I got this right, is giveaways.
Oh yeah.
There's some great giveaways going on. They've added one, as well as there's more info on the AMD one. So we'll start with the AMD one because we announced that, or we talked about that last time. It's the AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX GPU and the Ryzen 7800 X3D CPU.
That was a lot of letters there, Joe.
It's a
letters
lot.
and numbers.
It's a lot.
What are those?
AMD, man, you gotta get like your names down.
It's
or
basically
something.
their top of the line GPU and their top of the line CPU.
Wow.
Which they're giving out, maybe not quite top of lines, I'm not sure, but exactly. I'm not as familiar with AMD's offerings. Previously, we said that, or it was reported that it was going to be they were making 500 of these and giving them away. They might be making more of them, but they're only giving away one, it sounds like.
One?
Yeah, they're only doing one giveaway.
Wow. Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's a $1,500 value.
Okay.
Of a prize. So I think it's like $1,000 video card and a $500 processor. And
Oh, that's sick. Okay.
the way you enter is you got to follow Starfield on Twitter, and then you retweet the post about the giveaway, which the link for that post will be in the description of this video.
So I got a comment about something that's needling me right now. So the resolution of your display isn't perfect, Joe, but on the GPU, there's the Starfield square diamond that has the red, the blue, the yellow, and the white squares inside of the square. I can't help but see the red and the blue as the Domino's logo. Like, that's stuck for me, dude.
Oh,
I'm just seeing
dude.
Domino's.
Pizza
Starfield
time.
Domino's, baby.
Zach, we got a
I
technical question
guess.
for you here. Iceman asks, why will Xbox run Starfield, but you need a high-spec PC to run the game?
Oh, because like, bruh, I don't know. Graphics.
What? Okay.
That was great, Zach.
I'm sorry.
I would say that it's probably because an Xbox has very specific specs that they can specifically code around for performance.
Yeah, they can build the game for it.
Yeah, whereas PCs, everyone's PC has different specs. And so,
also, they're locking the frame rate on Xbox to 30 so that they can have like high fidelity on that.
Yeah,
on that performance.
So that's the first giveaway. The other giveaway was just announced at during Gamescom, I guess. Is they are giving away limited edition Starfield Chronomark watches. They're basically actually giving away Constellation editions of the game without the game, though.
Yeah,
it includes everything but the game, and it's a special version of the Chronomark. It's like an it's an inversed version where the center is white and the outer part is gray instead of the other way around.
Oh, that's cool.
It comes with the patch and the case. You can sign up by just signing up for Constellation on Bethesda's website. And if you do, you're automatically entered. They will be drawing 5 winners per drawing, and there's 3 drawings happening on August 31st, September 30th, and October 31st.
Wow.
So yeah.
Free shit.
Free shit. Everyone loves it.
Free little something.
Yeah. Gotta love that free shit.
Zach, what do you say? Free 99.
Free 99, baby. All you gotta do is sell your soul and all your information on the internet.
Yeah, that's already done.
It's
or create an account with Bethesda that you're going to have anyways. So
yeah, it's free. It's free 99.
Yeah.
Baby.
Next up on our news. This is kind of old news. The timeline was revealed. They revealed the timeline ever since humans leaving Earth up to the events of Starfield, the starting events of Starfield.
It was news to me, so it was fun to read through.
Great.
Yeah, that was great. Actually, I think that was the most digestible content that you sent to me, Joe. Was just the timeline.
You guys read through this. So there was a few things I wanted to go through this timeline a little bit and just talk about some of it. So 2050, humans first arrive on Mars. So that's 26 years away. That's
believable, maybe.
Believable. Yeah, we're already trying for, and I think their goals are to shoot for sooner than that anyways. But it takes then about 100 years after that for humans to reach Alpha Centauri, which I guess means that we've master faster than light travel by that point, right?
Yeah, because what is it, 4 light years away or something? Isn't that what it said?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, 4.37 light years. So I imagine it's just like partial light speed's fine too. You don't have to be crazy fast.
That's true. A few years later, they almost immediately set up the United Colonies, right? And then found New Atlantis, like the next year. It takes about 30 years for the Freestar Collective to show up.
I liked that whole thing. It was funny how like it seemed kind of petty. The battles there between the Freestar Collective and the UC, where they're just like,
oh yeah,
the starts
like,
of them.
You are farming on a planet outside of the 3 systems we agreed on, and then they just level that entire planet.
Right. Well, and like,
holy shit.
What happens before that though is the Narian War, right? Which was just the UC setting up a station outside on around a planet in the Narian system. Yeah, the clinic, and they just they're just like, no, we don't want you here, UC. And they're like, well, we're not leaving because we just set up this whole station and there's no moving it now. And so they're just like, fine, then we're going to go get the Freestar Collective. And then it's just a war for Narian, basically.
It's just like, it seems like such silly but accurate politics.
Yeah. I mean, it lasted 20 years, but also you're absolutely right, because why did World War I start?
I don't know, Joe. Why did World War I start?
It was.
I mean, I know someone was assassinated, but
but it was.
I don't know leading up to it.
It was really. I don't remember exactly, but I remember it being like there was no reason for everyone to get involved. It was just
that's kind of what I remember.
Spiraled out of hand.
Yeah,
it sounds like
a game of alliances. And it's like, oh, but you're an allied, and then everyone's
I'm
like,
team
all right, I
A.
guess we're all just doing this now.
You're team B. Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Alliances cause wars. There you go. No alliances, no wars.
Everybody just pointing guns at everyone else. Like, no.
So that lasts 20 years, and then Constellation gets formed, and Barrett joins Constellation, like, I guess 20, 30 years after it gets formed.
Which one is Barrett?
Barrett's the guy you meet and gives you the watch.
Oh, is he the...
Okay. Thanks, Joe, because I didn't actually know who Barrett was either.
Okay. Yeah, he's the guy that walks up to you and he's like something about his charm and everything like that. But yeah, so he joins, he's pretty early on. As a matter of fact, what I found very interesting was that he joins before like any of the other people like that are like running Constellation. He's just kind of a footman, but he's been there longer, it seems. From what we've seen so far, who knows? But I know
there was a lot of members based on the timeline.
Yes, but they all come. A lot of them come after Barrett, right?
Right.
And especially Sarah, what's her name?
Sarah Morgan.
Sarah Morgan, who is the current leader of Constellation. Right. But yeah, then we talked about the. You guys already hit on it, but the farming issue and which caused the colony war, not the colonies wars or colony wars, not the colony wars. The colony war. I don't remember how I said it. It's singular, right?
Colonial.
Okay.
They're like a war over a single colony between two massive like governing systems.
Yeah, but they like glassed the planet. Like that's ridiculous.
That's insane. Like what? The audacity.
Well, actually,
exactly.
I don't know if they glassed the planet. We're gonna get into that. They did
the colony. I think they just destroyed the colony. Anyone who was still living there.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get into that a little bit later.
I think they told everyone that they were gonna blow it up though, and then they were like, "If you're still there, we're gonna blow it up.
Get out."
That makes more sense. I didn't. Yeah.
Still crazy.
But still, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We just love each other. Apparently not in space.
Right.
Nowhere.
Yeah, as if there's not enough planets to go around or systems like
to farm.
What the hell?
Yeah. Well, only 10% of them.
You have
but like
light speed travel. Go somewhere else.
Does UC have a claim? Like, I'm curious. They never explained what the Narian Treaty or whatever actually laid out.
I think it was that they weren't allowed to. They essentially weren't allowed to take over more systems or more.
What about the UC? Are the UC allowed to also?
No, I don't think. I think that they were supposed to just let other systems be other systems, and they could join their like the Freestar Collective and stuff like that. But the Freestar Collective itself and the UC weren't allowed to go out and colonize. I think we'll probably learn more about that what exactly went on there in the game, but that's I think the idea. And since they went and started farming on a planet, they decided, oh, you've colonized, and it was a reason to fight.
Yeah, we gotta know the space politics, man.
Yeah,
somebody's bloodthirsty for sure.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So then in 2310, which is 20 years before the events of Starfield, they find the first artifact.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like from there, a bunch of members join. Sarah Morgan joins Constellation. She becomes the leader. And Barrett finds the artifact in like their storage room. So they just kind of like threw it into storage, and we're like,
oh yeah.
Was that the vibe? They just threw it in there?
I don't know, but it says that like after a while, Barrett found it in the archives, in Constellation's archives, and was like, I feel like this is important. And then he goes to convince them to purchase a star station, and they nickname it the Eye. They retrofit it and everything.
That was just the last point. It's like they have a space station, and then that's it.
What are they doing with it? I mean, they said what they're doing. They're using it it's a deep space scanner. So I assume they're trying to like scan for anomalies to find more artifacts, probably.
So I bet we'll interact with that in order to progress the main story or whatever.
Main story hub.
Yep. But that's all for the timeline. Like, that's all we really know about the timeline. There's a lot of interesting things there to try to speculate on what we might end up doing or what things might be used for. or why things might have happened. Oh, I should mention that this image that I put up here, I didn't make this image. I found this image, and it's a wallpaper made by The Origin. He posted on the BGS Discord. And he does a couple of really cool art pieces, especially with Starfield. So I'm going to post a link to his DeviantArt and Instagram in this.
Looks cool.
So go check him out. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it looks professional.
Mm-hmm.
Epic.
All right. So next on our docket of news is that the preload dates were announced. Pretty sure everyone knows that already. But just in case you've been hiding under a rock, Xbox consoles and Windows PC version owners can start preloading it as of August 17th. So as of a week ago, 10 days ago at the time of this recording. Steam pre-orders have to wait till the 30th of August. Probably because people are able to look into the Steam files a bit more for spoilers than they are on console and Windows versions. However, that has not stopped people from looking into the Windows versions. Not very deep. It's very surface level, and we're going to try to keep from getting into any spoilers here. But they did find a bunch of video files that reference visions for artifacts and powers. It specifically says like artifact vision 1 or something like that, and powers vision, and then it has a name for the power. Potentially, it has some sort of like descriptor there.
Say anything.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to try to keep from spoiling anything for you guys. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple of them, but it's only because their names are these ones' names are not very spoilery. I don't know. It's not very clear what they are. There are some that it's very clear what they do, what they probably do. But I will say that based on the names, the idea of them being gravity bending, not true. The idea of them being reality and physics bending, more likely, which is what we had originally said, right? Zach was like hitting it on the nose in episode 1.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got. I'm like, that's the way they're gonna go with this for sure.
Yeah, and some of the names seem like they could just be descriptors of like the scene or events in the scene, not necessarily a power. So those are the kind of ones we're gonna talk about. So some of these odd powers are Alien, Creator's Peace, Eternal, Inner Demon, Moon Form, and Void Form.
These sound like deities almost.
These sound like Skyrim powers. Yeah. Like the Creator's Peace sounds like, a calm spell from Skyrim or whatever.
Really strange, and especially Alien. I was like, which is why the Alien one got me thinking that it might be like just something that's in the vision or part of the clip, like a main part.
Moonform is werewolf. You can become a werewolf.
Ooh. How does it work for your spacesuit?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Spacesuit grows hair too. It's fine.
Yeah. So
you get your werewolf spacesuit on.
Ooh. Yeah. So interesting ones there. There's also some interesting other powers that are definitely sound like powers. There's Life Forced, Precognition, Sense Star, and Sunless Space. I don't have a clue what they might do, or how they will work.
You can tell what they're gonna do though. Like Sunless Space, that's blackout. There's no sun.
It's just gonna turn off all the lights. Like everyone's gonna be blacked out.
Is that
no? It's gonna be like. Yeah. It's gonna be like, what is it? Command Darkness and Dungeons and Dragons, where it's special magic black.
But what about
the event horizon darkness of a black hole? It's just summoning it into existence.
But what about life forced, like FORCED, like
someone
you're being forced. Again. Ooh, you're thinking like it's a resurrection spell?
Why not?
Oh my goodness,
we're bending reality.
Yeah,
you just rewind their life back to the part where they were alive again.
Oh,
well, that looked like the precognition thing where you can. That's probably like a rewind time, which is really interesting. That would be a lot of fun. Where you get to go back like 10 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Sense Star. That one just sounds useless. You're just like, hey, it's there. That bright thing in the sky.
Yeah, I know. It's right there.
Yeah, I know where the sun is. Yeah, it's right there. No, I have
I'm
a
so glad I
ability.
didn't drink my water.
I can sense it, though.
Yeah.
Can you sense it?
Like if I close my eyes, but open them so much so that my eyelids are just at their thinnest, I can go, there it
It's
is.
right there.
Oh man! Wow, it's almost like you have a sixth sense or something. What's going on?
Yeah,
This dude's magic.
those are just some of the spells. There was, I think, 24 of them in total of these power files. There was less of the artifact ones. I think there was like 10 or something like that.
Don't
or
give me
12.
these numbers, man. I don't want to know how many limits
Okay.
there are.
Well, that's it for that one.
Okay.
We'll move on to the next bit of news. Constellation editions have started being shipped.
Wow.
And actually, to much my chagrin, many people have already received theirs
What?
and have done unboxing videos. Maybe they
Wow.
maybe they got them through other means, but they seem legitimate. I'm really upset because mine still says awaiting availability, even though I got even though I got an email saying that it's getting ready to be shipped. Like my pre-order is almost ready. I'm like, oh my goodness, if it's got 4 days to get here.
Wait, so is it the physical copy of the game? Will you get
No.
a digital copy as well?
It's just a digital copy.
Okay, so you'll be able to install it and everything before the box gets to you, right?
Yeah, but the point is to get the box.
Hopefully.
before the game.
I have no idea, Chase.
Yeah, that was one reason why I didn't get the Constellation edition, was because they weren't very clear on that.
Yeah, so I'm currently a little anxious about that, whether or not that's
well,
going to
it's
get
the
here in
Windows
time.
Store version, so you could always just do
Yeah.
the Game Pass one.
But I can play Game Pass on the 5th.
Yeah, no, you got it.
But yeah,
It's 5 days, man.
from what I can tell, I saw people posted their like shipped images from Bethesda's store and Walmart. That's the only ones that I've seen. I don't know. I haven't seen any from Best Buy or GameStop yet. But
Should have kept my pre-order.
Your boy
But that-
Best Buy, Joe, letting you down.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't order from Best Buy, so I let them down first. I ordered from GameStop before it went live on any other store.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Dude,
So-
when I got my code from Grain Man Gaming, I lost my shit. I immediately ran to activate the product on Steam. I was like, I gotta do it. Yeah.
You're holding a child and you're just like, wait,
Get out of here.
I haven't even bought it yet, actually. After I returned my Constellation edition, I did.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the next bit of news. There's some little controversy over the main menu.
Oh come on. Do we really have to?
What kind of sappy news is this, Joe?
We're gonna get into just a little bit
Oh, my
because
God.
particularly because I love some of the responses to
Mm.
this.
Okay.
So
Sure.
a reviewer leaked the main menu, which is very simple. It's everything here except for the part that says news and controversy. And people started immediately commenting on how simple it looks and how that makes them scared for the game, or whether or not there was enough thought put into things.
Why are we here?
Why are
to
people
suffer
You're right. Why are
other
people
people's
extrapolating?
opinions?
But someone important decided to chime in for some reason. Mark Kern, who is a previous developer on World of Warcraft, he said,
Physiognomy?
yeah,
What
the
fuck?
physiognomy of start screens. The start screen of a game can reveal a lot about how rushed the team was and how much pride they took in their work. Starfield start screen either shows hasty shipping deadlines by a passionate team, overworked, or a team that didn't care. From his
Wow, that is so short-sighted. Are
from
you
his
kidding me?
professional opinion, and how short-sighted indeed, because Pete Hines decided to reply to that
No, Pete.
in the best way
Pete-
possible. No,
Pete got baited.
Okay.
No, he did not get baited. He brought down the hammer. He says, or they designed what they wanted, and that's been our menu for years and was one of the first things we settled on. Having an opinion is one thing. Questioning out a developer's care because you would have done it differently is highly unprofessional coming from another dev.
Ooh, get him some ice, man.
Right?
Spicy.
He questioned.
He needs a little. Maybe you should eject him into space.
Dude, Pete Hines just ejected him into space. And then,
yeah, I did.
And there was this, apparently this controversy had been going on. I didn't find out about it until I read this comment by a reviewer named Jackson.
The nail polish.
He said, I was too busy playing Starfield to notice the start screen drama. Nobody is going to give a shit about the start screen after playing this game.
No, that was my thought when, hearing all the criticism about the 1,000 planets. I'm like, okay, for starters, look at a game like Fallout. Are there even 100 locations in the game? Which there's probably around that. Let alone the fact that, because we're saying 10% of the planets have life. So let's say only 10% are worth going to for some stupid reason. That's 100 planets, which each have how many locations? Like a dozen, and then there's space stations. It's just like you people are going to be ogling the game once you've had it for an hour. Right. So it's just hilarious that so many people are critical over this kind of shit.
Yeah, it is quite ridiculous. And I think that was put best by Pete Hines. That was amazing. It was an amazing response.
God, that's crazy. I hate that people get so much attention,
Yes.
When it's come on, it's just gonna be out in a few days. Just chill out.
Correct.
I mean, yeah. So it's just to drive your point home even more about the planets. It bugs me too, because it's you don't even know what the game is about. So
idea.
Why is it? So what does this number even mean to anybody? It means nothing. It's just what do you got, man? You got nothing. You just fixated on this number, and because the number is I guess perceived as small in some way, it's bad number.
I think it's perceived small in comparison to the vastness of space and what is out there, but at the same time I think we're only dealing with the Milky Way galaxy in Starfield.
Well, they keep talking about relating it to No Man's Sky. I hope it's not like No Man's Sky where they have, and it's you have no idea.
Yeah,
it's Bethesda too. They love their handcrafted stuff. So I don't know. I haven't played it. I can't say because I haven't played it.
In No Man's Sky, a majority of the planets support life, but you know what you do with that life? Literally nothing.
You take a picture and then maybe make a pet out of it if it's cool.
Yeah. So it's just it might as well not be there almost.
Yeah.
So the one thing that actually makes me happy when I think about it and I look back at the system charts that you showed us last time, Joe, you showed us how far humanity has sort of traveled and what they can travel to. I think that really dictated, once they started writing out the story and how much time had been spent in figuring out how far humans could have traveled, that sort of set the tone for how many planets there were.
Right. Well,
and all the content.
I mean, if you think about the vastness of space, right? There's vastness of space between planets, for one. There's a vastness of distance between solar systems within a galaxy, and there's even more space between galaxies. To go from one galaxy to another is ridiculous. Would be ridiculous.
Unless you bend space and are just there.
Yeah, true.
I want to make a point though. I think it's really funny because I'm on the No Man's Sky subreddit, and after the latest few updates, there are people on there just total fanboys over the game, saying it's the greatest game ever made, and then you get the Starfield side where it's people are oh, I sure hope Starfield is not like No Man's Sky. And I'm wondering if there's overlap between those people where they're oh, I love No Man's Sky, and then they see Starfield and they're wait, Bethesda remade No Man's Sky, and are just forget that trash, give me this.
Yeah, right.
It's just
Move
funny
over,
to think
spike
about.
the biscuits. Let's go.
All right.
I want version 2, baby.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our final news topic.
Okay.
Which is someone leaked the first 40 minutes of gameplay.
Okay, wasn't this displayed at Gamescom?
They leaked this before Gamescom happened.
Oh. Okay.
The video starts off with them showing that they've gotten the physical Xbox base game, the physical Xbox like premium.
Did you watch this?
Game.
Did you watch?
I watched a bit of it,
Okay.
and it shows them that they got the Constellation edition, so they got all 3 versions, and they claim that it was a delivery mistake, that it got delivered to them early. I call BS on that, but I'll get into that in a moment.
You think it's a retailer? Someone.
So
No?
we'll get into this in a second,
okay.
but this is kind of old news at this point. A lot of people have probably seen the 40 minutes or they've heard about this. So he then boots up the game on his Xbox because it's the physical game and it's not an always online game, so he can, and he plays it for about 40 minutes, which is based on how he plays, which looks like someone who's never played a Bethesda game before. It's probably actually like the first hour and a half of gameplay. Did I say that right? No. It's probably about the first 30 minutes of the game, but it takes him 40 minutes to get to that point, because he's not very good at it.
Blowing through everything?
He's not blowing through it. He's not good. He's not good at the game.
Okay.
It doesn't look like he's played a Bethesda game before or many games before. He also mentions that, like, let's see what this game is about. Like, he doesn't seem like he knows what the game is, which makes it really odd that he has 3 versions that he supposedly ordered. Yeah. And I'll tell you from personal experience, having worked for a retailer before, this is classic. This man stole the game. From the moment I saw this posted, and saw that first part of him showing it and talking, I was like, this man stole the game. He stole it from either a retail location where he works, because they just have it in a storeroom and tell everyone, do not touch these, like it's locked up or whatnot, and certain people have the keys.
That's what I first thought.
Yeah. Or a friend stole it for him from a storeroom or a warehouse or whatnot. Or he stole it off a truck. Like that, like that's how this sort of thing happens. Is it's not one person gets an accidental delivery and literally no one else. They send them out in batches, if anything. So you get a bunch of people that got it way early.
Accidentally delivered by me early.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so
into my pocket.
Yeah.
I was saying that a bunch on the stuff and how kind of reprehensible this is, and I kind of posted that on a couple of Discords and Reddits, and was like, in response to this, it's like, this is ridiculous, this is horrible that this guy did this, because he's definitely stolen this. And people are like, well, why should I care if he stole it? I'm at least getting to see the gameplay. And my answer to that is why you should care about if people steal amazing games, especially games that have special editions and stuff, because that may have been your pre-order.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
someone is not getting their pre-order because this guy stole it.
It's going to be one short.
If it was limited stock, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it
so,
totally is limited stock. There's no way it's not.
yeah. And so I will not be posting the link to this video. I will not be posting anything or talking about this man's name,
Is it
anything
still
to
up?
give him. It's been copied to various other locations.
Didn't he get a felony charge too?
We're getting to that.
Okay.
What the hell? What the?
So the guy. So
Don't let me steal your thunder, Joe. Sorry.
Yep. I'm really against giving this guy any moment of fame, because I find that sort of behavior reprehensible. And
No
should
name.
not. Yeah. No name. I'm not giving him a name. I'm not posting a link to the video. He doesn't get anything from me. I'm just talking about it because, and the only reason I'm talking about it is because we got him. He's been got.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
There's a good side to this story. Okay.
He was arrested on the 24th and charged for trying to sell stolen copies of the game online. Yeah, which is about 4 hours. It took about 4 days after he first posted the first video. And I
Yeah,
said
of course
first video.
he's not. That's why it was, because he's just trying to resell them.
Notice how I said first video though.
Oh.
So reportedly he stole them from a warehouse where he worked, which is exactly what I thought was happening. He's facing a felony charge for $2,500 to $10,000 worth of stolen property, a misdemeanor charge for $1,000 or less worth of stolen property, and a misdemeanor charge for possession of marijuana, because this happened in Tennessee and apparently that's still illegal there.
Dude, like, what was going through this guy's head?
I think he saw an opportunity to maybe get famous. I don't know.
Yep. Well,
I guess
or
easy
make
way.
some money.
Or
Yeah.
he didn't understand it. Like,
Or
he
make
really
some-
didn't.
or make some money, because here we go. After his initial post, he then did another video with his face in it, like a selfie video.
How old is this guy?
And in it, he says, "Todd, no offense, man, that's a good game." And he also says, "Y'all don't want to miss it." I don't know why he thought Todd would take offense to it. This is now a new meme. People are saying, like, when they're complimenting someone on something, they'll be like, "No offense,
man."
But you're looking fly.
You look really good. Yeah.
I think that shows this lad's intelligence level.
Yep.
No.
He then started uploading listings of the copies for every version of the game to Mercari. And then he also posted a video of him going to the FedEx to get to ship the copies he sold. People started claiming that they think it's a scam, that he doesn't actually have. How could he have all these copies, right, so early? And so he then posted a video of him putting labels on the packages with a pile of all the copies in the next to him, which goes to tell you,
so dumb.
That is not a mess up in the delivery system. You did not order all those copies.
They wouldn't let you either. Isn't there a limit on?
Yeah, there's a limit to how many you can order. Like, this guy didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know anything about the game up to the point that he probably was told that this is a very important shipment.
That is so funny.
This is such an exercise in, like, what can I get up to, and what shenanigans might I find myself in?
Let me document every step of my crimes. Like, did he think that it wasn't illegal or something?
Dude, I don't know, but he posted that video of him doing that, and he said, "Y'all thought I'd be out here putting stuff on the internet that ain't real? Nah, baby, that ain't how we do it. That ain't how we do that. Y'all used to playing with little boys."
Wait, that's a quote?
That's his quote.
Joe?
That's a quote from him in the video.
This man would fail the shopping cart society test.
What's the shopping cart
Did you ever
society
hear about
test?
that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to explain it, Chase? Because you're pretty good at explaining things.
Quick explanation.
Quick explanation. If you put the cart away at a grocery store, it's a perfect test of whether or not you're a
good person?
Genuinely good person.
Yeah.
Like, you can
decent.
You can understand.
I think decent is. It's a
sympathy
base
and
level
empathy.
empathy test.
Yeah, base level empathy test.
Someone else has to do this, or I'll do it. I don't know.
Right. Like, there's no consequence to doing it or to not doing it. There's no consequence to leaving the cart somewhere. But it's obviously a bad thing to leave the cart in the middle of nowhere.
But it's someone's job to pick them up.
I mean, sure, it is. But the point is...
No, it's not. No, it's not. Their job is to pick them up from the
return
that's
area.
what I thought you were
area.
referring to is the return spot. Okay.
No, that's an excuse I've heard before from a genuinely not good person.
Well, then there you go. They failed the shopping cart test.
Right. It's the test of whether or not you understand, and then whether or not you can.
That is like one of the first things when I went shopping with Evie at some point when she was really little, and someone, like, people hadn't put away their shopping cart, and I was like, ugh. And I was like, we're gonna go over here. We went over, we took it. It wasn't our shopping cart, and we put it away. I was like, we always put our shopping cart away, Evie. Like, this is, there's no reason not to. And so, like, now when we go and she sees carts, she's like, why they didn't return their cart? And you're like, well, because people are inconsiderate.
I've done that with my kids with certain things where I'm just like, I don't know, guys. It's just not. That's not how you got to be. You know. We do that. Yep. Don't be like this dumbass here and steal things and then try to sell them and then document all the evidence of your crime.
God, like clearly it shows some level of something. I'm not sure what I'm looking at or hearing, but it's something.
That's it for the news. So we're gonna get into something a bit more fun. We're gonna talk about the
more fun.
Yeah, more fun. We're gonna talk about the dev Q&A, and we're gonna play a little guessing game.
Oh, you're beautiful.
We're gonna play a little guessing game because these two haven't seen or looked at anything that happened in the Q&A specifically.
That's a Joe face. That's a Joe face if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Handsome gentleman.
So a little bit about the Q&A. It occurred on the BGS Discord on August 16th. They posted 16 questions. There weren't any real big spoilers. There wasn't like big news or anything out of it. If people wanted to blow up what information was given there, I guess they probably did make some clickbaity stuff out of it, but it wasn't a lot of real news. It was more like information about some of the game mechanics, some of the lore, and a couple of fluff questions. It was with Will Shen and Emil Pagliarulo. Will Shen was very straightforward in his answers, and Emil Pagliarulo was a lot more colorful. He gave a lot more teases with his answers too.
Isn't that how they were in Starfield Direct too? Because I know
Yeah,
both of these
probably.
guys talked there, and they had their own different ways of.
But the great thing was after the last question happened, I don't know how this happened, but the moderator must have accidentally opened up all of the chat, because they did it in like different little forum posts on the Discord, and all of them got opened up, and it was mayhem. Like people were just trying to throw in their question that they wanted answered, and you're just like, they're not going to answer. Just calm down. They didn't choose your question. They chose several fluff questions instead of your question.
Right. No spoilers.
Yeah. So just calm down. Stop it.
It's not like free information.
It went insane. Yeah. And there was definitely people trying to get their question that they'd already asked, because I saw some that I'd seen asked previously on the 11th or before the 11th. So crazy. But we're going to play a guessing game. We're going to go through most of the questions, not all of them. And I'm going to see what you guys think the answers are. I've set points to each of these questions, so we're gonna keep track of your guys' scores.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. Let me get a piece of paper. I was not prepared for this.
I'm gonna kick your ass, Zach.
Yeah, the only good comment I ever had was reality bending. That's it. That was my highlight.
All right. So first question is worth 1 point, and both of you can get this point. Can we buy houses or property in main cities?
Of course.
Of course. I have to do the opposite of you, Chase. You answered first, so no.
Yeah.
Of course. You don't have to do the opposite if you want to answer the same.
I refuse to be allied with this man.
All right. Fine.
No allies. Remember we said only enemies earlier?
Joe, I'm too close to Zach being in the square above him. I want you to switch our places.
I'm not doing any of that last minute shit right now. All right.
Quit poking me.
All right.
Let me check
the answer to that was yes.
Yeah.
Some of them are even rewards for doing missions. So there's more than one, and you can possibly be rewarded with them. Great.
Are you telling me there's affordable housing in this universe? That's incredible.
Wow. Shut up, Chase. We don't need it.
You just have to risk your life fighting space pirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
Before we go on, Joe, that means that not only do you have a base to build and a ship to build, you have a house to decorate. This game, it's like character creator on crack.
That is a good point, Zach. It's interesting that they chose to do a housing thing, since you can just create your own bases.
Fallout 4 had it. Fallout 4 had it too.
I guess that's true. It's odd, I think, which is like, well, I can just create my own house anywhere I want it. Why do I need yours?
It's about the homeliness of it, you know?
Yeah, I guess. You gotta have a place in the city. It makes sense.
It'd probably look a lot different than an actual base that you build on a planet too.
Well, in Fallout 4, you could get the home plate in Diamond City, and you could do the base building within the building, which was kind of weird, and I never did anything with it because it was really cramped because you're inside.
Right.
But I'm curious how they handle that in this.
All right. Question 2. This one is for 2 points because it's a two-parter. So you get 1 point per part. If we get the kid stuff trait, will our parents be generated based on our character look, or are there standard parents put in place? What benefits might there be?
Wait, so
absolutely generated based off your character. I know that because they've done that for years. Can you pick more than one trait? Can you pick
3,
every trait?
Up to 3.
3.
Yeah,
that's cool. So I would say yes as well, because I mean, like, that's the whole point. I don't know if they're using Unreal to build this, Unreal Engine 5, and then the human thing. They're not.
Creation.
Their own engine,
they have their own engine. But they've always done that with like Fallout 3. They based your dad off of what you look like.
They were into
Fallout
that.
4. Your kid is based off of what you look like.
Yeah, I would base it just on like the video game trends, like their history, and then the fact that metahuman is literally a thing that Unreal is. That they're not using it, but like that's a big thing where it's like you can generate humans based on other humans.
Okay.
That sort of thing. I would also say yes.
And what are your guys' answers to the second part? Will there be benefits?
No.
No not benefits. Besides having cute parents that probably bake you cookies or something. Like, it depends on what you count a benefit.
Give me Papa Yama baking cookies.
Yeah, because I know you can go visit them, and I'm sure they have. They might have shit for you or something. I don't know. I could see them giving you something.
You could see them giving you something. We'll call that a benefit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
then fine.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have gotten both points on that.
Okay. I don't want to know what they give you. I don't want to know.
No, it doesn't say that. They, like I said, they didn't get really spoilery in any of this, but they said exactly what you guys are saying. That's something that they've done. The face thing is something that they've done before in Fallout 3, Fallout 4. And the programmers were really excited to use the new technology, face tech that they've done to generate it. And then Emil later teased that the fans are really going to like the voice actors they got for the parents. So, but he didn't say who.
Okay.
He wouldn't say who.
That would make me reconsider actually doing it then.
And then he also
cute.
confirmed that there will be benefits. He said, "Oh, and yeah, you can get stuff."
I like stuff.
Yeah,
Stuff sounds good. It better be cookies.
I don't know.
I like cookies.
I don't know. Maybe sandwiches.
No, I don't want sandwiches.
All right, I'm gonna skip 3 because I think that it was the most useless question out there, and I don't agree that they even put it in there. I don't know why. Okay, question number 4. This is 2 points to whichever one of you get it the most correct.
Ooh.
Yeah. How will smuggling cargo system work? Can we hide it somewhere on the ship and sell it for more currency later? Go.
Zach, you go first this time.
Oh, frick frack. I thought you were going to go first. Okay.
I mean, I have an answer already, but I think I've been dominating the...
Just because you're a dominator, it's just your personality, man. You like to dominate. No, so smuggling cargo, I don't really know how that one's going to work. I feel like you've got to have stealth mechanics like you've seen in their previous games somehow in there, but like it would be like the visibility of the object as they move by it, or like not only the visibility of it, but like there's got to be something that makes them suspicious or not suspicious of it. So you have to like choose hiding places, and then maybe you can like do dialogue and distract people from looking in certain places. I don't know, but then like they've got to scan your ship in some scenarios, I imagine, like just scanning it in general. And then you've got to like have technology to prevent that from happening. Like put it in a lead box and then you're fine. So there's my 2 halves of how.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I think you have to have certain equipment that will shield the scan. So whether that's a whole module in your ship that you have to buy, or like equipment within a module, I don't know how that'll work. But and then I would imagine, like you said, there's dialogue checks. Like it's probably some charisma checks when they're talking to you, maybe, or maybe that's what happens when this.
That's the thing, like people can board you in this game, right?
I'm pretty sure it's just a scan though.
They're like,
if you fail the scan and then they board your ship to come see if there's goods, you can maybe
find anything. Then it's like
maybe talk your way out of it,
or you can buy them out. Like they come aboard and you're like, I'm gonna pay.
Sure. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay.
You didn't see anything here.
So you guys both basically answered the same.
Yeah.
We did. Sorry.
I'm comfortable with that.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
All right. So in a tiebreaker for this, can you sell the contraband for more in another system?
Of course.
Of course.
You can give us both the same points, Joe. It's okay.
I'm going to give you both 1 point.
I'm going to disagree. No.
Okay.
I'm going to disagree with Chase. No, you can't sell it for more. You have to sell it for less. Now you know what to do with those points. Shove them where you want them to go.
I'm just going to give you both 1 point on that because
that's fair.
What they said was, yes, there are certain ship modules for hiding contraband from the authorities, and there are certain items that are contraband. But Emil added that the economy is fixed, but the prices of bought and sold goods can be changed based on the skills you choose. So transporting items from hither to thither doesn't change the value of it. It's got the
they're
same
not doing
across.
like a min-max thing where you can buy low, sell high?
Nope.
Universe economy. Global economy, apparently.
Yep. You guys were pretty right on the how it's going to happen. Very wrong on the whether or not it's fixed or not.
Wait, so did they actually have the boarding mechanic?
They didn't say anything about that.
Okay.
They didn't say boarding, so maybe Chase got it more right because he said there wouldn't.
Yeah.
They didn't mention boarding, so maybe that's why I didn't really factor that in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, if you have contraband, they would, because they have to have a reaction if they can figure out.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, so it's like, do they just blow you up? Do they come aboard your ship and take the stuff? Do they charge you just charge you a bunch of money? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There has to be some reaction. Right to jail.
Right to jail.
Straight to jail.
Aha! You can't go to jail if you're dead.
Straight to jail. That moves us right into the next question, which is worth 1 point. You can both get it if you want. Will there be a jail system if we commit crimes?
Yes.
Of course. Of course there will be.
I
And
want you
why?
to break out of jail. Do you know how fun that mechanic is to be a
Yeah.
criminal?
Yeah.
Like that is its basis is around like, okay, I did something bad. I went to jail, but my heist is in part like part of my heist is to go to jail.
Yeah.
And then
And
things
man.
happen now. I want to fight the dudes in jail and like climb to the top of the jail stuff.
And every jail in like Skyrim and Oblivion was unique and had like different ways of getting out. Some of them had like a grate in the floor. You know, there's like all sorts of fun things they can do with that. So you can meet people in jail and like start a quest that way. Like, oh yeah, they love to capitalize on that.
I want my whole crew to come from jail.
You guys are correct. There will be a jail system. Will mentioned that you can elect to go to jail, pay a fine, or resist arrest.
It's the classic. Yep. Then pay with your blood.
Emil added that these are civilizations, they're governments, there's laws, and in a couple of cases they actually explore the themes of crimes and punishment in a future universe. He also mentioned that it is more like Skyrim than it is, or Skyrim's jail system than it is like Fallout's, which I believe Fallout is just they shoot you.
Yeah, there isn't. It's just dead on
Yeah,
site.
there's no jail.
You run away and come back later.
Yeah. So it is a bit more sophisticated of a jail system. And I think that's really cool because it'd be really fun to maybe get in jail and have to try to escape or something like that. So
I would love that.
Colt wants to know if you can be an
heist.
alien. Can you be an alien in Starfield, Joe?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's possible.
We don't
Mods.
have
They
races
haven't-
as far
mods.
as I know.
They
Wait for
haven't
mods.
denied it.
I mean, they
We don't
haven't
even know
said a
of
lot.
any alien races besides like beasts.
Yeah,
I
they haven't
think.
released anything like that. All right, question 6, also worth 1 point. Will time pass when not in the game? For example, will my trade routes, outposts, and mining operations continue to produce, or does that only occur while actively playing?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really good question.
There's
I
no
would
way
say-
time would pass while you're not playing the game. It's a single player game.
It's a single player game, so I imagine no. If it was online, like Chase is saying, then I would say yeah. That those things are automated and they run in the background, kind of like Eve Online or something.
Yeah.
So both no?
Yeah.
Both get a point. Question 7, also worth a point. Can you be a double agent in the game? For example, if you join the United Colonies, can you also join Crimson Fleet and give the United Colonies information? And what factions have that feature if they do?
I don't know.
Dude, I would love because I want that to happen. I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna be counter and say no because I've never seen them do anything like that. Well, I guess in
No.
Fallout you could do that with like the
You can
Institute
only go so
and
far
stuff.
though, right? You only got so far before you had to choose.
Yeah, and you were still like choosing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say to be counter to Zach, I'm gonna say no, you can't do that.
Zach, you've caught up to Chase.
Oh,
I'm so happy
my
to be
God,
wrong.
That's so cool. I've never been so happy to be right.
Well, and I find it interesting that Chase came to that conclusion the way he did because it's so often in Bethesda games and RPGs in general that you are posed with this choice of so-and-so wants this item, but also this person wants that item, and they're at conflict with each other, and who do you give it to, or do you give it to neither, right?
Yeah.
And you get that choice a lot in other Bethesda games, so yeah, of course they have that in here. It's just, it's in this scenario, you're an agent of one faction infiltrating another. Do you guys want a small little spoiler?
No.
Oh, but it's such a good
No.
In unison.
That's why. No.
Oh my god.
God.
Okay.
Next question.
All
All right.
Question.
Next question. We'll not do a spoiler because they don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big, but okay.
I'll leave. I'll
Okay.
leave. I'll do
All
it.
right. All right. All right.
No podcast anymore.
Question 8. Depending on traits selected during character creation, will it at all be possible to play through the game in a pacifist mode, i.e. without killing anyone or potentially anything?
Yeah. There's no yes. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Bethesda loves their pacifist runs where you just talk your way out of everything.
Yep.
You both lose.
No.
They both said it's not very likely. I guess they didn't really confirm that it's not at all possible, but Will mentioned that they have systems to support that kind of gameplay, such as the speech challenge system and traits and backgrounds and skills, and also non-lethal weapons. Emil specified that they considered supporting a non-lethal playthrough in pre-production, but said that for various reasons it was not feasible. So
Okay,
means
so
there's a
that's
lot
gonna
of
be
shit
like
going
a
on.
speedrunner
Likely-
is gonna do this.
yeah, likely at some
basically.
point you've got to, like, if you're gonna try to do most of the game, you've got to end someone. So
What if I
Okay.
don't want to kill people?
I don't want to make them suffer.
no points for you guys on that one. All right, 2 points to the most correct on the this is a 3-parter. So 2 points for
boy.
each part.
Okay.
What are the beliefs and basic history of the religions we can join? Sanctum Universum, Enlightened, and Great Serpent.
What the hell?
I know
don't
nothing
anything
about
any of this.
any of these.
So go based off the name. Let's start with
Yeah,
Sanctum
I don't
Universum.
want to know. I don't want to know.
Wait, you don't have to.
I concede.
No, just take a guess. I will tell you whether or not you're wrong, and we won't talk about what they actually do.
Okay.
How about
So
that?
give me the names again.
Sanctum
Okay.
Universum. We'll start with them.
Sanctum Universe.
Mhm.
Wait, and then what am I guessing?
You're guessing what the religion is about, what their beliefs are.
That the universe is everything and all the time, and everything should just be the way that it is, and it doesn't matter what happens because it was meant to be that way.
Yeah, I like that.
You can't just agree, Chase. You have to come up with your own solution.
But that's what it
Mm.
sounds like, though. He would say the same thing, even if I didn't say anything.
It was my guess would have been along those lines. Something about the universe being, I don't know, the sanctity of the universe, something like that. I don't know.
Itadekimasu, baby.
That's what?
You know, remember from your Japanese lessons? Thank the universe for
that's-
this meal, and then what was the other one? Thank the universe after the meal.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Goji-shu-sama.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this points to Chase just because the way he worded it is more in line.
Damn it.
Okay.
I
I don't
guess
even
I'm
remember what I said. It was
I'm
all
not-
bullshit. But
I'm not
okay.
going to tell you why because Chase doesn't want to tell you
I
what.
don't wanna-
me to
I
tell
don't
you
wanna
why.
know.
All right.
I don't want to know.
I've
The
already kind of
Enlightened.
forgotten about it. The Enlightened.
Enlightened.
Oh, that's religious, like hardcore, like Christianity or like some other religion, like taking right after it.
No, it's knowledge is God.
That makes more sense.
I'm also going to have to give those to Chase.
That's fine.
You both are quite wrong, but Chase is the least wrong.
That sounds pretty typical.
House Varun, or the what was it called? The Great Serpent.
Oh, military based, like just take what you want,
Might is right.
keep what you kill.
You're just gonna both agree.
No, I said Riddick. He said might.
I said might is right.
So
You
like big powerful is right. I said you keep what you kill. So that's much more
Oh,
like
all right. Those 2 points to Zach. That's definitely closer.
Nice.
That's definitely
that's
closer.
epic.
nice. I can
yes.
be Dick B. Riddick in Starfield.
Hell yeah.
I don't know about that, but it's closer to the idea of it.
Okay.
I would say. All right. Question 10. How many companions total will we be able to recruit?
8. Wait, is this the Price is Right?
Yeah, this is Price is Right rules. Closest without
Closest
going.
without going over.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, though. Is I know you can pick up crew members at bases or at stations and whatnot, and have them go to your outpost, which you could probably have as many as you want. So I'm going to say there is no limit.
Wow, that's a bold claim, Cotton.
It is. I don't know.
So I'm going to technically give this one to Chase.
This is bullshit.
And
I
we're gonna
want a reroll.
And we're gonna
Infinite.
We're gonna talk about why here in a moment, or actually right now. Their exact answer to this was there are over 20 named companions.
See, that's what I thought you were getting at, was named companions that have.
Just
like,
as
full-fledged
the question was just
storylines.
companions.
I went over. I went over though by
hold
saying
on. No,
infinity.
no. Here's why I don't think that you went over, because they specified named companions, and I believe what they mean by named is that ones that they gave names to. There's probably generated companions with part of the procedural generation that get generated names.
Yeah.
And so I think that those don't fall into the line of named companions, even though obviously they'll have names.
That's a lot. 20? That's
yeah.
crazy.
It says over 20. They said over 20.
Over 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then plus the fact that you can probably get ones that are just generated by the game on into infinity.
But how many can you have?
They didn't say that. Actually,
Because like your spaceship only supports. So
it says
many.
how many companions total will we be able to recruit? I don't think that there's a limit to how many you can recruit.
Oh.
But there's
silly.
with spaceships, there are limitations based on how you build out your spaceship, how many crew members can be there. So
Right.
But I mean, there's no reason they can't be back at home hanging out. Wait until you say, "Hey, come here."
Outpost A and some at Outpost B, and All right. Question 12, I believe, is a two-parter. 2 points total, 1 point per part. Will our companions be able to level up their perks, and will their perks stack with ours?
Of course. Wait. So
No.
I think you'll be able to level them up for your companion, and you'll be able to like dictate what skills they have, because then that means like, that would be cool, because then they can do like certain things.
I don't want to manage any other characters.
Yours, but
I've been playing enough Baldur's Gate. I don't want to manage more characters, especially not an infinite number. I hope it's just I deal with my shit, they deal with their shit. They can level themselves up, and they just scale with me. That's what I hope
see what you're saying, Chase, and also that sounds much more like a Bethesda type game, is to be about the individual more than the management of a crew. So
yeah,
I think you're more right, but I'm gonna go with the answer that I came up with, where you can kind of dictate what a person is going to do, even if it's a subset of what like your skill set is.
So I have a question, follow-up question for Chase. You said no, you don't think that the player will be upgrading their skills. Do you think that the crew member themselves would automatically level that up?
I sure hope so. I don't want to manage my crew members.
Okay.
I want to be able to hand them a gun, and then it's like, oh no, they're, like in typical BGS games, it's like, oh, they're proficient with a two-handed sword, so that's what I give them. Like,
and then the second part to this question was, will their perks stack with ours?
I don't know what you mean by stack. I mean,
like,
if they're on your team, you can use them.
Yeah, you have perks, and they might have the same perk. Does it stack on top of yours?
I don't know how that works.
Or does it just take like the highest of the two?
Why would it do that?
Like, is it like a percentage perk? Are you saying like, oh, I've got 50% more range damage, I got 50% more range damage, therefore we do 100% more range damage?
Maybe.
That wouldn't make any sense. That would be silly.
That would be silly.
A stack in some sort of way. Maybe it's not that exact math.
I would say maybe on a case-by-case basis, stacks make sense, but no.
Okay. You both are completely wrong on both accounts.
They're so detailed, like, oh, but what about this?
Their perks do not level up at all. Companions come with a set of perks, and those are at different levels, but they are set that way. And they do stack with yours. They didn't say how they stack or how they go about, but Emil did say that you really feel the benefits in the ship and combat related ones.
Oh.
Okay, so get like a really good gunman or something.
Yeah, he said he said that like having an extra boost to the ship shields, or like someone who's really skilled with a gun joining you in combat with that weapon, you can really feel it.
How does that?
So I just boot people that I don't think are good enough for my team.
But that doesn't stack. That doesn't mean it stacks. It just means that like you can take into account more than one person's skill
like
set.
putting equipment on your machine. Then.
Yeah, on the shields one on the ship though, that probably stacks with yours.
Yeah, if you specialize in shield and they do too, it would stack. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. They're like equipment. That's weird.
So I just realized we skipped a question, question 11. When we assign crew members to work at Outposts, do we have to pay them salaries?
That would be awesome. Yeah, let's make it. Yeah.
No, I hope not.
I have to pay them the money.
I don't want to deal with.
Point for Zach. They said
I gotta pay people.
No, hold on.
Well,
they said that it's a one-time payment.
Yeah, one-time payment to recruit them.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be like Diablo, where you're like, okay, I bought the Amazon.
Yeah. So it's one-time payment. They did think about the idea of doing salaries, but they wanted to minimize what the player had to constantly keep track of. So they went to just a one-time payment.
Monthly.
I don't play a Bethesda game to, work.
We're running a business here.
Question 14 for you guys. What books or movies had a big influence in some of the quests? This is 1 point. If you guys can guess them, there's 1 point per one that you guess, and there's 9 total that they mentioned. So
Interstellar.
Oh, I had this thought the other day.
Twilight.
I had a good one for that.
Lord of the Rings.
I'm just gonna say Star Wars.
Atlantis, Stargate, Buzz Lightyear, the Disney one.
Anything else? You guys done guessing?
No, I know. Dune. I'm gonna say Dune.
Dune. Yep, I can't have that. It's yours.
Starship Troopers.
Oh my god, yeah. Space Odyssey 2000. That one's in there for sure.
Yeah. I had a really good one.
Harry Potter. What? Yeah.
I had a
Just
really
throwing out
good one the other
movies
day
now.
where I was like, I know this is like part of the inspiration for the game. I can't remember what it was though. I hope Cowboy Bebop had some
Oh my god, that would've been
influence on the space cowboy portion of it.
I'm gonna cut you guys off for
totally.
time.
That's
Okay,
fine.
sure.
You guys got one of them,
Shit.
which was
Was
Star
it Buzz
Wars.
Lightyear?
It was Star
No,
Wars.
come on.
So Will had mentioned he's a big history fan, and so he listens to a lot of hardcore history and history of Rome, which are a podcast, I guess. And then Emil got a lot more into the pop culture stuff. So Star Wars. He's also said OG Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, Back to the Future is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You'd still be wrong.
Damn it.
Space 1999, Buck Rogers, Battle Beyond the Stars, Ice Pirates, and Metal Storm: The Destruction of Jarrus Sin.
I'm
Dude,
not
I don't
well
know
versed
any of
enough to
those.
know what these are.
Battlestar
I don't know any of
Galactica?
those. Well, yeah,
I know that one, but like I wouldn't.
that
have
makes
guessed
sense.
Yeah. Emil also said that in all of those examples that he gave, it makes you realize that space is a source of mystery, wonder, and sometimes terror. Which
Yeah, I like
thought
that.
it was great that he's bringing in terror to it.
I want to be scared.
Maybe we will get some horror like
Yes,
genre stuff.
please.
And keep in mind, this was
Please.
influenced on some of the quests. Was the question?
That's cool.
So-
Good. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
like for me, space is kind of analogous to the ocean in terms of
Yeah.
mystery.
Yeah.
And so I really hope there's like Loch Ness monster type bullshit that's really creepy, or Kraken bullshit that's really creepy.
Yeah, I feel like with that though, it's like kind of like in Star Wars, they had giant space monsters, but that's more of like the fantasy side leaning into it. So like,
Sure.
I'm curious. It seems like Starfield's really sci-fi heavy, so I don't know if you'll see space monsters, but like you
I
know,
want a
actual
devourer.
monsters
Yeah.
in space. You know.
Give
Oh,
me
yeah.
a devourer that eats planets.
Yeah.
All right.
That,
We're gonna
be
move
cool.
on. Question 15, similar style question. You get 1 point per correct answer, and there's one special answer that's worth 3 points. I've decided. What are some favorite small details in Starfield to add to the immersion?
food. You have to go pee. They have a
No.
timer on having to go
Oh
to the
my god,
bathroom.
you gotta
Give me
manage
the
your pee
hardcore
resources.
survival games. You gotta
Dude,
pee.
your spacesuit just gets nasty after a while.
There you go.
Think about like things you might see in the game, but small things. Remember, it's the small details.
NPCs having conversations with each other that aren't Oblivion bad. What's going on with you?
Equipment that you can just interact with, but that seems pretty par for the course. I don't know. I want you to be able to like pet a dog or like plant a plant. Like those things, I feel like might be charming.
That'd
and
be cool.
Really
Yeah.
detailed.
So the things that they mentioned were outfits, clothes, materials, spacesuits, patches, NASA punk aesthetic, sandwiches, books, notes, bulletin boards, voice acting, music, sound effects, ships, and buttons.
The
Buttons.
game.
Yo,
the game
the
is immersive.
buttons.
Cool. Got it.
Pick one of those for what one was the special one.
Buttons.
Ooh, Zach's right.
Zach is
Yeah.
right. Zach gets 2
Yeah.
points. It's
Yeah.
2 points for Zach. Is buttons. They said buttons, buttons, buttons. They really
They
like
love their
their
buttons.
buttons.
Yeah.
So
Dude, Chase and I talk about buttons sometimes. We like
The
buttons.
tactile, this
Mhm.
clicky. Oh, so good.
It's all about that.
I'm sitting here with my pen doing this.
Yeah,
every
yeah,
once in a while.
Well, that's how you ground it.
Man.
And that's
Yep.
how you ground it to like your human body
Yeah.
is the clicky and the eating and the
It's
you know
so
like the
true.
physical reaction.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. Question 16. 2 points to the most correct. What is the history of the mechs?
Okay, so Boston Dynamics goes on like a military tirade.
Let's get a little further in the thing than that. Let's just mechs. Start with when mechs
Mechs.
exist.
When did mechs exist?
Well, not just that.
Probably-
Just starting with mechs exist. Boom. We know that. Okay. Now what's their
I would
history?
say they were more of a frontier thing to help farmers with their everyday tasks.
Yeah, it seems like a colony type thing because you need like a humanoid type mechanical unit to do as many different types of tasks as possible, but you can't physically be present for.
Well, if you're driving the mech, then it's I would say it's to help with manual labor.
Yeah,
I feel like
Colonize.
that's a common backstory for mechs.
especially on the space scale when you're trying to colonize a freaking planet.
Okay. Let's move on to move into the colony war.
I mean, I would imagine they were repurposed then to fight.
Strap a gun to big robot Gober.
Yeah.
All right. 1 point to each of you. because once again, you guys just kind of go line in line with each other.
Well, that's
You're like
natural
our
conclusion.
You guys are like hitting ideas back and forth and being like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. No,
we're not
how about
not
this?
gonna manufacture conflict here, Joe.
That's
It's
fine.
just-
It's fine. I don't want you
to
to.
mute myself.
I should have just had you guys like write answers on a whiteboard or something and like prop it up.
At a time.
Okay, so the real answer to this is that they're leftovers from the Colony War. So they, I don't think that they were used for farming or anything like that.
They went straight to
But
punching with
you
mech.
both,
why
you
not?
both were right
Okay.
about them being more of a Freestar Collective thing.
Yeah, okay.
Both sides used it in the war, but the Freestar were much more adept at them, whereas the United Colonies used
Ships?
They used a tactic called Xeno Warfare.
Oh my god.
They
That sounds
Hate them
weaponized.
even more.
They weaponized mind-controlled alien beasts.
Okay, yeah.
That is biological.
I knew I was gonna side with the Freestar, but like after hearing that, even more so.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
the
No, I'm
UC,
good,
man.
thanks.
they said that both mechs and Xeno Warfare were outlawed with the armistice at the end of the
Great.
Colony War. So yeah,
Wait, the mechs were outlawed?
the mechs were also outlawed.
Wow.
Yep.
So like it couldn't even be used for. I guess they never were used for farming.
never
so
were
it doesn't
used.
really
No, it's a
matter.
military only thing, so of course the military bad.
hmm
Maybe
All
we'll
right.
get to dig one up and become
Yeah,
war
we are. Are
criminals.
you kidding me? I'm gonna pilot that thing.
Give me
away.
a-
Send me to
give me
jail. I
a-
will destroy the jail.
Give me an alien pet and then a mech, and I'll just be the war criminal on both sides.
Unfortunately, one of the questions that came in like at the end when the mayhem was going on was,
Yeah.
can we use the mechs? And Emil confirmed that the mechs are not usable; they're just ruins. He also did say
Wow.
that I'm not saying that there's a mech like ruin that you can go to. I'm typing it. So it looks like there's an old battleground that you can visit. That is,
How big are the mechs? I
has
don't
a
remember
bunch of
from the
mechs.
video.
They're
it
pretty
looked
big.
like
They
they're
were
probably like
50
2-story
50 times
tall or something like that.
Oh wow.
50
Yeah.
times the size of a person.
Yeah,
But
big.
2 stories is the better analogy.
They're not like Gundams.
I was
but-
thinking like Titans and Titanfall, like
Yeah,
that size.
I think-
you would.
You're more like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Well, that's
That's
Yeah.
2 stories.
Yeah,
3
Is it?
stories.
they're
I
pretty
don't know.
tall.
Some of them were they're pretty
It has
tall.
to reach down and grab you to put it you in it.
those are probably like 20 feet tall. No,
It's about
they gotta
2
be more than
stories.
that.
They're like 30. I think they're like 3 stories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2
you
stories
might be
is
right.
somewhere between 20 and 30 feet. So
Yeah.
Is a story 10 feet?
generally, your
Yeah.
house, like
One floor,
floor to
is 10
ceiling,
feet.
is 8 to 10 feet, depending on
Yeah,
how
okay.
how your ceilings are. All right, so that ends our game, and Zach has 13 points, and Chase wins with 15. And
Wait, what do
of
I
the past
get?
week- You
What
get.
do I get?
Oh, what do you get? You win
Constellation edition?
the version of Starfield that you ordered, delivered
Congratulations.
directly to your email box.
Wow, amazing.
You should send them an email that just says cool.
Yeah, you
Good
win
job.
this tally sheet and the
Wow.
drawing that my daughter made.
Dude,
Oh,
nailed
wow.
that. Hell yeah. Put that on the wall.
All right, we're going to move on to the big event of this past week, which was Gamescom. And we're just going to talk a bit about Gamescom and the Starfield information that came from there, or things that they talked about at Gamescom. Starting with the opening night live. This was pretty great, actually. A great intro into Gamescom, right? They opened it up with Inon Zur playing the theme music on the piano, which was...
Wait, they had him there doing it?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
watch. He's right there on the
That's- yeah,
piano
yeah.
in the front.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he
didn't catch
announced
the
it.
intro. Oh,
Didn't they
I
also get
didn't.
interrupted by some Joe Blow about Grand Theft Auto 6?
Yeah, well, yeah. So they did that. Then they did the live action trailer, which was amazing.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
That was when they go up into space and the girl's eye like rotates and turns into planet and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
it's
was
so cool.
They had
then,
Rocket
like,
Man playing.
Oh yeah, it was perfect. I'd been thinking
Yeah.
about wanting to do take some of the trailer music or trailer videos and put it to either Rocket Man or what's David Bowie's the one with Major Tom to Ground
Mhm.
Control.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about trying to do that, and then they did that. I was like, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's
They
the
did
vibe.
it.
They did
the
it.
thing.
That's
I
the
don't need to
vibe.
anymore. Great.
Yeah.
Uh,
They knew, man.
Yeah, but then after the live action, the dude gets up there, comes up, storms Jeff here, and starts demanding to see GTA 6.
That's what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
he's like, I want to see GTA 6. I want to see GTA 6. And she's like, show us GTA 6. And you're like, I guess GTA 6 was probably not announced to even be talked about here, which is probably why he decided to pay to come in and make it into this awesome intro and then
Jeff
get
handled it
kicked
with
out
class.
immediately. Yeah. You'll notice in the video they lead him out off stage, and then Jeff introduces Todd Howard, who comes from the exact exit that the security team took that guy through. And I just want to think that
I didn't think about that.
This is such a big moment for Starfield being the intro to everything, and to be interrupted by that guy about GTA 6. I like thinking that behind the scenes they walked in past Todd Howard, and Todd Howard just stops them and just like decks the dude. And comes
Oh my
out.
god!
I mean, hopefully not, but you know,
Todd is so reserved, and he looks.
He is.
I guess he almost seems. He's not dead inside, but he's like clearly like, I just made a game. This is a very social experience right now.
Right.
I just love the game. That's all we're about here.
He's very nervous, I think. I mean, it's a big launch, right? So obviously he's very nervous. And then that happened, which had to like make his tensions high. And I feel like you could see it when he came out. You could see he's a bit more tense. And Jeff Keighley even mentioned, he was like, I think he's like trying to be a little bit more light about things. He's like, I think someone even made you in the game. He's like, yeah, I see a lot on the internet. And then I think he realized how like how upset he sounded, and he immediately like smiled and like tried to make a bit more light of it. But yeah, it's like I think that was like I feel like that kind of really upset him. But who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows if it's just nerves? But yeah, one thing that I thought was interesting, that this is Todd's first time at Gamescom.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a very social person.
It's true. He's very creative.
Even although he's a manager role, I feel like he very much loves the things that he's doing, and that is his absolute pure passion.
Right. Well, he did mention there that they had built the 300-person theater, which I think everyone knew. And that, you know, I thought they were going to show what they were playing on that 300-person theater on stream at some point. They never did, which was
he got like 2 sentences in talking about the beginning of the game, and I shut it off. I was like, I don't want to hear anything.
That's literally he just talks about like the very basic. It's stuff we've seen in the trailers is all he talked about.
I don't think he revealed anything.
He didn't really reveal anything.
It was even really short too.
I didn't hear anything past that because I was like, I don't want to hear about the beginning of the game.
There really wasn't anything past that that he mentioned about it. They talk about like how exciting it is to be at FanFest and all of that. I mean, not right here in the first one. That's in the day one, right?
That's funny.
You know, day one. This is, I think, where you're talking about. They're interviewing Todd Howard, and he's kind of gets into a little bit about how the game starts.
Maybe that's what it was that I skipped.
He says they show a bit of character creation and then off on the adventure, right? But they really didn't mention anything in this. So it was a very short interview that that was day one. So that was the next day after the opening night live. But right after that, they went into an interview with Pete Hines. And I especially like that I don't know where you get this shirt, but he had that Vascalico shirt. It's like Vasco with a cat as a cat.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get that shirt, but that would be awesome if that's available somewhere. And then he also said that the live action trailer is the best that they've ever made in his opinion, and that he's ready to throw down with anyone that says otherwise.
That was the one with all the interviews, right? Yeah, that was the one with the interviewers explaining the sandwiches and everything.
Huh?
No, he's talking about the live action one that they just showed.
Oh, with the gameplay. Okay, because I got a little confused.
No game, live action.
Literally live action.
The people.
Okay, I didn't see
the 2-minute one with the real people.
The live action trailer, Zach?
No. Nope.
Oh my goodness, you need to go watch that.
I didn't want to.
Not right now. No, you definitely want to.
It was pretty cool. It doesn't spoil anything.
It doesn't spoil anything. It's just inspirational and everything, and that's what he talks about. Like, it gives him shivers. It gives him like, and I think that's great because it does the same for me. I was like, it's so intense and cool, and like it definitely gives the message that they're trying to do with like the greatness of exploration in this game. The other thing that I found very interesting about this interview was he was talking about Jamie Mallory and how she was really confused about why everyone was so excited about the sandwiches after she said it. And like I don't know if he could have put it a better way, is that like she put her finger on the exact nonsense that their players love.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
Can I do
Nailed
this
it.
thing? Let me try, and then do it to abundance. in excess, in a hilarious fashion, right?
Yep.
So
the epitome of gaming right there.
Yeah, and I think quote, he said that they embrace the chaos.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm glad they were able to get such like a intense and positive feedback on, like, I feel like that was a really good communication point between the fan base and the developers, where it's like, this is the kind of shit we do.
Right.
Like, you got it. What you're doing is what we like to do.
Exactly.
It's really good.
What
Like,
you're
that
selling, I'm
transparency
buying.
doesn't seem-
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and then we'll move on to day 2 interview, because there was I guess there was an interview with Phil Spencer at the end of day 1, but it wasn't really about Starfield so much as it was just Xbox stuff in general. So we'll kind of skip that. We'll move on to day 2 with Pete. The end of day 2, they talked with him even more, and he gave us a lot of great information.
There's a lot of stuff in that video.
Yeah, he said that, Todd first pitched this 8 to 10 years ago, just before they shipped Fallout 4. And surprisingly, there was no pushback on it. They were just like, yeah, instead of going and making Elder Scrolls 6, yeah, go make this, right?
Well, and hadn't they been tossing around the idea of a space game for many, many years?
Todd had been in it to himself, really.
Oh.
And he came, and this is what he's talking about. He came to them and was just like, this is what I want to make. And if we don't do it now, we're never going to do it, sort of thing. And so they were just like, yeah, go do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then also he says that he's he had spent 80 hours in the game, right? Pete had played for 80 hours, and then Todd was asking him about the main quest, and he was like, I never even touched the main quest yet. It's like, you can play 80 hours and not have touched the main quest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Beautiful.
ridiculous.
Absolutely fantastic.
And then Todd sent him off on a avenue of going into the main quest, and he said he's like 50 hours into that. It's huge.
Yeah.
Makes me so excited.
I also really loved the way that he really, really highlighted the difference of how this game plays compared to the other Bethesda games, or games in general, where you can communicate with someone exactly what you did because the experience is curated to be identical. Whereas you really got an idea of how the experience here is much more like event based.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, you're gonna go through and do this thing, and because you're doing like more I guess spaceship type stuff out in deep space, you're gonna run into more of that type of gameplay scenario that explodes into whatever quest lines or events or things that you might experience. And so that was cool. It's like, oh, okay, well, I understand that everything's just different, but it's not just different for everybody for being different sake. It's like, no, there's a system here that's like very much intended to be a good experience, and it's built this way for a reason.
Well, and he talked about
so
like
cool.
The two people that worked in the same office together had played for about the same amount of time, right? 40 hours each.
Yeah.
And then they were sharing what they had done, and like one of them shared, and the other one was like, I've done that, I've not experienced any of that. What's that? Like, that's not been my experience at all. And it's like it's the first 40 minutes where you'd think there'd be the least branching, or not 40 minutes, 40 hours, where there'd be the least branching, and they've already done nothing similarly.
Went off in their own direction.
Yeah. And so that's just crazy huge. But he did mention after, getting on the main quest that he did say that, the game doesn't really start until you finish the main quest. Like, it doesn't really get going until you finish the main quest.
I feel like that was I don't know. Like, I don't know how true that is, but I feel like that may have been not a great thing to say, because then it's like, do we burn through the main story? Is that what you're supposed to do?
It basically makes you wonder what happens after the main story.
Like, how does it change the world? Yeah.
Or like, is there more to do in a certain way that's different than it was before?
So
it doesn't make any sense until we know.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and they kind of talked a bit about that. He did mention that like this is his favorite story out of any Bethesda story and the favorite ending to any Bethesda story. But I think, Chase, to your point, like it's a little scary then being like, because they've never really pigeonholed you into needing to do that to really experience the rest of the game before. But like he said, he had experienced 80 hours of gameplay prior to even touching the main story, and he was already having fun.
Yeah,
and
clearly it's not essential then. So
right, it's just it enhances. It sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like it unlocks like you would unlock like the C-class spaceships versus having the A-class spaceships, and then suddenly you can do more because you have more things that are technically available to you.
Right.
That might be really what they're getting at.
And they did get into a question. Someone asked about New Game Plus, which he said specifically they're not going to talk about, but in an interview with because it's spoilery, so it is confirmed that there is a New Game Plus, which is also something they've not done before. There was an interview with Todd Howard by GQ where he confirmed it, but they're not explaining how exactly that happens because it'd be a big spoiler. It apparently has to do a lot to do with the main quest. So my guess is that it's going to have something to do with time, right? Like rewinding
reality
time.
bending.
Right, this reality bending. You go through a portal and it rewinds you back to start of the game.
Groundhog Day, that would be, I don't know about that.
God,
I don't know how that would feel.
New universe.
I mean, that's
universe at this point in time.
I don't know. I think that's an interesting thing though, that they've never done that before, and now they're dipping their toes into that. Or
it's the multiverse, Joe. You can go to the alternate reality version.
There you go, with all your abilities and stuff.
Sure. I don't
right
know.
Before you touch the artifact, probably, which makes the most sense. It's like, oh, that's your checkpoint.
There doesn't have to be a lore reason. Why can't you just start the game over again with all your stuff?
But I think that there does, because he said it's very spoilery.
Yeah, which I'm kind of like, okay, we'll see how it pans out.
So I feel like there is a lore reason then.
Yeah.
But even if it has a lore reason, it's just like, it's just there for the sake of the charm. It's not like you have to pay too much attention to it.
So
yeah, we'll see.
Zach, you started talking about another part, which was that you can't do everything immediately. You talked about the ships, how you mentioned the ships, where you start off being able to fly A-class ships, but you can't just go and board a pirate ship and take it, which is something we had actually talked about, because it might be a C-class ship, right?
Yep.
And you can't fly C-class ships because you don't have that grade of the skill yet.
Is that a thing?
That's what he said. Which answers a question that I kind of had internally, was why wouldn't I just steal every ship rather than ever blowing up a ship, right?
If you become a dedicated space pirate, you're gonna have that C-class rating though, and you're gonna steal everything.
But if you don't go into that, well then that guy has a C-class ship, I'm just gonna blow it up for parts or whatever, for materials. Seems like a perfectly good reason. That's the only thing you can do with the ship, so why not? So yeah, and he mentioned that with everything, right? He said, get the boost pack skill, because you can't boost without the boost pack skill.
I liked that. The whole like boost pack plus low gravity when you're doing planetary exploration, you can just fly everywhere basically. Yep. That was crazy.
Yeah, and the ships having different classes, that's really cool too. I think they might have mentioned something about that having a part to do with what type of modules or what level of modules you can put on it, maybe? I don't know. I might be making that up in my head. Okay. I don't have that in my notes. I'm just kind of recalling it. But I might have had a fever dream about it. He talked about people getting sucked into the game and sharing their stories with each other. And I liked, he talked about, we had heard the story about Todd having, boarded a ship and then it took off into space and suddenly he was in space on the ship that he was trying to take over, right?
Yeah.
And Pete had a similar experience, except for he never made it into the ship, just in the cargo bay. So and so then the pilot took off and locked the door to the ship so he couldn't get in. Pilot took off, and as it's taking off, he just got dumped out the back and fell to his death.
That's awesome.
It's so brilliant. I love it.
That's amazing.
Oh, and so it's just crazy, the kind of the AI there that's making those decisions and the type of things that you can do. Apparently,
it's risky
or things
to board the ship,
right? And then he talked about his character background a bit, which brings me back to like he talked a lot about, he had this whole backstory for his character, the Colonel.
Yeah.
Which brings me back to backstories for characters. If you have a backstory for your character that you're going to create, please put it in the comments. I'm so interested in reading some of those. If you have a name already picked out for your character, put that too. And we have a Discord where you can put, once the game is, launched and you're playing it, if you want to put a picture of your character, I'm totally down for that too. Seeing all your beautiful or horrendous characters in full glory right there in our Discord channel. I would love to see those. So
yeah.
But getting back to it, and that kind of led into him talking about contraband and how it's very valuable. But he, from a role-playing perspective, made it so that his character wouldn't participate in contraband.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. I was curious.
Leave you on the ship. That's what he said, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have left that character on the ship.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so they didn't hate me for unlocking locks.
For lock picking stuff. Yeah.
He's
like, oh, shoot, I should have left you behind. Go stand over there.
Yeah. Don't face the wall.
But that brings me, have you guys thought about what kind of character backgrounds you guys want yet in your characters?
I've had a lot of loose ideas, but nothing has been needling at me that I have to do. I think what I'm gravitating towards the first time around, in part because Metroid Prime 4 is not going to come out anytime soon, and I'll probably have to buy another Nintendo console just to play it. I'm probably going to base a bounty hunter off of Samus Aran and go and hunt down all the super like Scooby-Doo mystery planets with mysteries that need to be solved that mostly involve just killing everything that's bad there and then solving the mystery that way as a bounty hunter.
That's cool.
And then taking on strays, because that's just naturally what happens. So you wind up with all sorts of funny characters because you're just a glutton for strays just attempting to survive, and you're like, well, let's just join the misery brigade and then we'll all be miserable together.
Yeah, that's funny. I was thinking maybe like a space cowboy kind of thing. I like that whole aesthetic. It should be fun. So I'm just curious how that plays out in this game, because I know you have to wear your bulky spacesuit around, so I'm like, bulky spacesuit and a cowboy don't really go well together.
Right. You got to be able to put a hat on that spacesuit. There's just no way.
I mean, who knows? You could just go all the way with it. So I'm curious to see how that'll be. But the whole contraband stealing thing, I don't know, why not? I got to make money, so it might be fun to, like, probably for the first character, it'll be, I want to explore all the different options and then, dig into like, so I can have whatever kind of ship I want and see what kind of different outposts you can make. So I'll make money illicitly. I don't really care about that. And, the bounty hunting and stuff. I feel like all that goes well with the space cowboy thing. So
you mentioned that you really liked you didn't like the UN, or not the UN, sorry. The
UC?
The UC, and
United,
then you liked
United Colonies?
The Free Star Collective. That kind of goes with the cowboy.
Yeah, it goes with the cowboy a lot. What's funny though is that I didn't even realize it until you started leaning into it. Got me thinking about it, because Samus is, or I think I don't know, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but her origin story is that she is with like a United, is it colonies? I can't even remember now.
United colonies are like the space cops.
But it's like the United whatever. She's hanging out with them, and then just starts really disliking what they're doing in the universe, and so becomes a bounty hunter. Like, no, screw that shit. I'm just doing my own thing. Cool. But there isn't like a Free Star Collective for her to like join, so that doesn't ever happen. So
she's the one who starts.
It plays right into it. It's like you start with the corpos, and you're like, forget this, I'm out.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on ahead because time. So they get into some questions. They talked a bit more about the skill thing. He mentioned special projects as a skill, which I'm very much into. I like playing like the techie person that gets into crafting and like having special equipments. So that's probably kind of the route I'm gonna take. I haven't quite thought of how that's gonna be a part of my background yet, but I think that's kind of what I want to do, is a lot of the crafting stuff. So
space nerd.
Well, I want it so that I can rule with an iron thumb as I press my special buttons.
Yes, the buttons.
Yes,
the special buttons.
Yep.
I like that.
But he did go on to answer a few questions. People asked about free flying, which you guys have asked before, whether or not you can fly freely between planets.
He was like, I didn't do that. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
was
a lot of
weird.
questions. Like, I didn't do that. I just went from place to place. I don't know. I don't know if you would be able to tell whether or not you could. Because, like we said, planets are so vastly far away from each other. And if they're kind of modeling real
Go ahead, fly
scenarios,
for 3 hours in that direction.
right, or more.
Why?
Like,
Yeah,
or 2
why?
days, 10 days. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to know whether or not you hit an invisible wall or are just still
I imagine
flying
it would
into the
just
infinite?
unload the things you couldn't see, and then it would just move along.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Like the things, like the I'm sure they draw at some point just a PNG for the damn star.
right, and I'm sure he never tried it because they're testing the game. He doesn't have time to put
Dink
to
around
doing that
for 10 hours in
Right.
a random direction.
So
I remember
mean,
doing that in Eve, flying to a planet,
Yeah,
and it was very disappointing. But it was like took forever to get there because you
Right.
warp to a planet and then it's like, yes, 10,000 kilometers away.
right.
Oh my
Let me fly to
gosh.
it.
And like, I think that people just think that, like, as developers they understand everything that might be possible, and you just don't. Like, there's probably a specific developer that was part of that whole thing that could tell you, but I don't know if Pete knows who that person is.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to fixate on for sure.
He did say that you can pick spacesuits and equipment off of enemies.
Nice.
You can get up and walk around your ship while it's in space, which will be interesting if you get attacked while you're doing that.
Dude,
That's
gonna
what
be
I really
hilarious.
wanted to know.
Yep.
I want to be able to go to
He actually said
orbit
it's quite
and then just
important.
wander around my ship.
He said it's quite important in some cases to be able to do that. So,
You got to run to the gun or the ejector or something.
right?
Yeah.
They asked if there was a level cap. He said not that he's aware of, and
Oh, good. So you
or
can
that
just keep leveling.
or that anyone that's testing it has reached yet. So,
There's a dev who wrote in a number, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
it's probably the maximum number for an int.
Yeah,
something
like
like that.
integer or maybe
2
even
billion something or
yeah.
other. No confirmation on whether or not you can kill key characters. They asked about that. If you could kill key characters.
I think
That's
he
a
hinted
good
it.
question.
He said he hasn't tried
said
that either.
You could mess it up probably.
He said he hadn't tried it, so he doesn't know.
Yeah. I thought there was hints that it could happen.
There's been somewhere else someone mentioned that things are a bit more like Oblivion than they are Skyrim. So that leads hope for me that you can kill key characters. I
couldn't in Oblivion.
I know you couldn't in Oblivion.
In Morrowind you could, but not in Oblivion.
Yeah, but you could really. I don't know. I really hope that they did allow that because I like that.
Yeah.
I like the ability to screw up, especially in an open world game, to screw up my main story or some story to where I can't progress in it. Oh well, there's so much other stuff to do. I'll just go do that.
Well, yeah.
I made my mistake.
If,
I made my mistake, and it's a mistake that my character would have made. I'm sticking with it, right?
Yeah, I want to know if I messed up irrevocably the
Right.
timeline and then load if I want to.
Yeah.
And they do that in Morrowind, right? You kill someone and it tells you that you messed up, and asks you if you want to continue anyways. He said that there's no like having fleets of ships. It's just you and your single ship. So
No
not likely
fleets.
that companions can fly other ships for you.
Barking at.
No fleet management, which is fine with me. I don't want to manage a whole fleet in
Yeah.
this game.
A good tip he gave, and this is one that I think a lot of people should look into because I'm definitely going to do it, is he said, like, go do the intro Vanguard quest early, right? Like as soon as you see them, because they send you through a museum that tells you about why we're not on Earth, why the Vanguard exists and the Freestar Collective has happened. Like it goes through the history that, you know, and hits some points that maybe the timeline that they've released doesn't
Who's the Vanguard?
also give. The Vanguard is essentially the UC's civilian police force.
Those guys. Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, the Freestar Collective have the Freestar
You have the Rangers.
Rangers. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
and
I
so
want to be a Ranger. That sounds cool.
The Vanguard were made in response to the Rangers, basically.
Right. Yeah, because the Rangers were so fucking cool. I
What
don't know.
do
They
you-
might be like a bunch of dorks, like in New Vegas. The what are they called? The New California Republic.
something.
Bunch
I
of
don't know.
dorks. It might be like that. Who knows?
But the last thing that he said in this, and it was just another funny moment he had that I wanted to talk about, was he was talking about mission boards and, you know, picking up missions and then getting distracted and stuff like that. and so he had like picked up a mission to transport 2 people to Mars, right?
Oh, that was funny, yeah.
And then he had to stop the game and go on a trip somewhere, and he came back and he had seen that he got another mission for something else, so he went off and did that, which led to something else, and he was just doing this stuff. And then one time he just goes onto his ship and there's 2 people there, and he's like, who are you? And what are you doing on my ship? And then he realizes, oh yeah, I agreed to take these guys somewhere like several days ago, and they've just been on my ship.
Worst Uber service ever, man. Like,
I want to know though,
one star.
like in Red Dead Redemption, there'll be people on the side of the road that are like, help me, I need help. And you'll walk up and then they'll like steal your horse and try and ride off. And I'm wondering if there will be people like that where you pick them up and they're like, I need a ride to X system. And then they try and like hijack your ship while they're there.
Dude, I would love it. Please. I want to have the nastiest crew just waiting for a reason.
But what if they like sneak and steal some of your shit? Like, I'm like, I don't want to let anyone on my ship. What are you talking about?
Right.
I'm going to have an empty ship that's just made for these scenarios.
Strap a honey pot for your...
It's full of traps.
Yeah.
Basically. It's just like, oh, you if you don't do anything bad,
it's
you'll
wired
get
to
where you want
self-destruct.
to just fine.
They're like, the bathroom is through that hallway, and you just like stand back.
I just sat here and watched how excited Pete is. I love seeing that.
He's got a twinkle in his eye.
He is like in love with what they were able to do here.
Yeah. Well, especially when he was talking about like he measures success on like how many calls he gets from other studios saying that the release of their game is messing up their development because their people are just playing the game that they built.
Yeah, I love that.
So good.
But that's enough about Pete Hines. We're gonna get into our community spotlight, and we'll just fire right on into. Actually, real quick, if you want your stuff put in community spotlight, basically I go and find stuff on the internet, but you can make it easy for me to find your stuff if you join our Discord and put it in our fan art channel, our Starfield fan art channel. That would make it really easy for me to find it. I try to make sure to put links to all this stuff, so if people are interested in looking at this fan art a bit more or looking into it a bit more, because sometimes these people sell this stuff or give it away, who knows, you can go to that link and find out more about it. You can go to where I found it. So we'll hop into it. Our first bit of community spotlight stuff comes from Angry PC Tech. They've made a Starfield coin. I found this on the Bethesda Discord. But yeah, they use like a laser etcher and they use different heats to create the colors. I actually reached out to him about.
Sick.
Yeah, I reached out to him about this, and that's why I got a bit more information about this. We had a nice conversation back and forth about all of this.
Cool.
I'm going to be putting up a link to his Patreon, which is where you can go to purchase this. Actually, not purchase it. It's if you do a $25 subscription or membership on his Patreon, that gets you a coin every month.
Wow.
And this next month, September, you get a choice between Starfield or Star Citizen coin. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Freaking epic, dude.
Yeah, and so it's just $25. On the first, he said, though, he's going to be making coins while playing the game and giving the coins away on stream.
How's he going to do both?
Well, he'll probably just have them printing, and then he's going to be playing, and then he'll do a giveaway. He'll say, as you in chat, I don't know. But I asked him to give me the link to the stream when he does the stream, so I will also post that. So anyone who's interested in taking advantage of that, maybe winning a free Starfield coin, make sure you join the Discord, because that's where I'll announce it. But this is really cool looking. I believe it's made out of titanium.
Nice.
The next coin we have, or not coin, the next bit of
more coins.
Yes.
Starfield content. Someone created a Fallout Starfield mashup wallpaper.
The Vault Tech thingy.
Yeah. That was also in the Discord, so I will make sure to have a link for that in the description as well. This came from Derage Dracula over on BGS Discord, so thank you. Our next bit is another wallpaper. It's actually a set of wallpapers for iPhones, I think 14s, and Apple Watches.
Nice.
This user, Firetel88, has done a really good job making these. It has like that same aesthetic as like the controller where it tells you where like the volume and power key are.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah.
like that.
Next one is someone designed
Lego.
micro Lego Frontier. This is
I want this.
This is not
It's so
official.
cute.
A user made this themselves. GibbsFreeSynergy came up with that. But yeah, it's a little micro Lego.
I want that on
Really
my
cute.
desk.
Next up, we had an Eon pistol last time, which was like very base. This is like more complete version. They've actually painted and sanded and everything like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, looks really good. So on the left, you see is the version they made. On the right is from the game.
Wow.
That is ridiculous.
Yep. Looks really cool. They said it doesn't move or anything like that because it's all glued in place, but yeah, still really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This lady, I think her name is, she goes by Icy, and she has a YouTube channel called, for any of you who are interested in sewing, she has a sewing channel called Hullo Icy, or it's Icy Sews. She decided to sew and design her own Starfield jacket.
That is amazing.
Yep. So
I want a Starfield poncho now for some reason.
I thought that was really
Dude,
cool. So
That is really cool.
I'll have the link to the video where she was making this.
Yeah, I want to see that.
In there.
That
And
is so
then
cool.
our last bit of fan art today is AI fan art. So this was generated by Leonardo AI with a prompt from usernet that goes by Insidious, also on the VGS Discord. I've tried to do Starfield like art prompts in various AI generators, and I can come nowhere close. I'm not great at figuring out the prompts to get what I want or anywhere close. So that's why I thought, even though they didn't put in the work of like drawing this or anything like that, it takes a lot of work to know how, like, what to put in to get what you want out of this sort of thing. So I thought this was worthwhile. Even AIs are making fan art for Starfield. So
What's really funny to me, I can't see it super well, but is that a jet engine on the side?
it's on the side.
Okay. It's like,
Nice.
Probably so it can
now
go like
see it.
pew, whoop.
It's got some features built in.
Yeah.
But that does it for our community spotlight. That's all I had to show for today. That does it for our podcast. Like I said, next episode is things are going to kind of change drastically. It's going to be a lot less news, a lot more community stuff. We're going to be looking into things that people have done in the game and found in the game.
Patch notes. We should also
patch notes.
When patch notes come.
That's probably about the most newsy we will get. Probably is patch notes. When patch notes come out, we'll make sure to do that. But yeah, and then obviously we'll be talking a lot about our own gameplay pretty often, every time, things that we've found and enjoy in the game. So if you want that kind of stuff, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know, once again, what kind of character you're planning on building, if you have a backstory planned out. Or if you don't have one yet, but you come up with one after the game releases, come back to this episode and put that in there because we want to see it. I want to read about it.
Joe, did you want to mention a possibility of a stream?
Oh, I will. If my Constellation edition gets here in time, I plan on streaming the game as soon as I have the ability to do so. So
Epic.
So I will be streaming like my beginning part of the game, character creation and all of that. So
That's very exciting.
We should all.
I really
play
want to watch,
same
but I
time.
also want to do it alone, which is hard because I want both. But
And those streams, all our streaming is done on our Happy Pants channel. We have a second channel that is just the podcast. On our Happy Pants channel is where we do like Let's Plays and of various games and whatnot. And also we do edited Let's Plays. We do live streams of various games and all of that. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, head over to our Happy Pants channel, subscribe there. If you're just interested in Starfield stuff, we have just this Into the Starfield podcast channel that you can subscribe to. So, yeah.
hell yeah.
Anyways, thanks for joining us on this journey today. And I'm really excited for this next week. Anxious to get my package. And I hope you guys are all anxious too. Just as anxious as me, if not more anxious.
Yep, you know it.
All right. And we'll see you guys next time on Into the Starfield.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.